Hey, how's it going? Today I'm talking about IT band issues and running Princess. This is Running to the Castle, a podcast for injury-prone Run Disney runners on a journey to running magical miles. Join me, Dr. Allie, as I share the secrets I've gathered as a runner, doctor of physical therapy, and coach. You'll learn the exact ways I get my clients to the castle strong without feeling broken or held together with KT tape as they cross the finish line. So I put out a post on Instagram and said, hey, I've been seeing lots of these questions come up. Let me know what your questions are and I will send you an answer. So I got one. So this is an answer to someone who's been having IT band issues. I've been having IT band issues since December, lateral knee to mid-leg and mid-hamstring. Everything feels better doing weight training, specifically leg presses, but flares up on runs. I've done the IT exercises like bridges, clamshells, etc., and have a foam roller that I could utilize more. Running the Princess Half, what's my best strategy for getting through all 13.1 miles with IT band pain? So thank you so much for submitting this question. It is so common. You are not alone, which is very unfortunate because it sucks, right? But you are not alone. There are things that you can do. Now, of course, it is 2 weeks until race day at the time of recording this. So there's only so much we can do. Thank you for sharing so much information. I do have some other questions. What has been happening for pain relief? And is the pain all of the time? Actually, no, I know the answer to that. It feels better doing leg presses. That doesn't mean there's no pain after it. So does the pain come and go? Is it really only with running? Is it just minimized with the leg presses? And then what pain relief techniques have you been doing? Strength exercises are great. They bring blood flow to the area and they help strengthen your muscles to better support the area. Strength exercises themselves are not good at getting rid of pain. They are best with prevention. They get rid of pain a little bit if the area needs more blood flow, likes warmth and heat, things like that. So your IT band feeling better when you do leg presses, when you're doing something, tells me that it likes some kind of motion, but it doesn't like the amount of motion or activity that's happening when you're running. That could be because of how you're running. That one's not as likely. It could be with how fast you're running. It could be on what you're running on, not necessarily treadmill versus ground, but more like, are you running on an angle, like on a slope, which can change the amount of pressure that that area has. And then I said pace, distance, how quickly did you ramp up your mileage to get this far? So if it was a ramping up of the mileage, we can't go backward, right? We can't change what just happened. We are asking what to do in the future in these next 2 weeks. I add that information in for next time, like next half marathon. Let's look at that training plan. But so the strength exercises are great, but really what is happening with the pain relief techniques? Are you using ice? Are you using heat? If it were me or one of my clients, you doing activity is making it feel better. So that gives me an idea that this area likes blood flow, likes warmth, likes some activity. So I would err on the side of heat if it were me. So hot Epsom salt bath, 20 minutes, moist heating pad, 20 minutes. And then if you already are doing those things, how often are you doing them? They often aren't done enough. You really can't do it too much. 5 times a day, 7 times a day. every hour you're awake sometimes. If your IT band is feeling better with some leg presses, with some movement, it likes the blood flow. Blood flow is making it feel better. So we don't want to cool it down. Cooling it down using ice, that stops the blood flow. Everything feels better doing leg presses. So some people will say, well, I'm going to do leg presses every day. Well, no, don't do that. But you want to recreate what's happening when you're doing the leg presses, what's happening internally. So your blood flow is increasing. So let's do that. So moist heat, hot Epsom salt bath. We don't want to cool it down. Foam rolling is great. You could utilize it more. You're already recognizing you could utilize it more. Utilize it more. Foam roll up and down from hip to the knee, not just at the area that it's bothersome, because we don't know where the trouble spot is coming from. I would also ask, what kind of stretches are you doing? Not that you can actually stretch your IT band, but your IT band attaches to your glutes. If your glutes are tight or pulling or spasmed, that can alter the pressure down on the IT band. It can work out the sensitivity and the discomfort. Then what pace are you doing on these runs, or what distance are you doing on these runs where it's being bothered? Because it could be that you're going too fast. And so, do you want to go fast on race day? Maybe, but maybe you don't have to go that fast. So you could monitor your speed, monitor your pace. Of course, you want to stay ahead of the balloon ladies, so you need to maintain at least that 16-minute per mile pace based on when they started. But depending on what corral you're in, that could be a 17 or an 18-minute per mile pace, which means maybe you need to walk it, maybe you don't. I don't know what your pace is. If your pace is 7 minutes per mile, maybe you just need to slow down to 10 minutes per mile. And then at what distance is this happening? So it, if it's always happening around a specific distance, like 8 miles, well, what was happening leading up to those 8 miles? Are you getting progressively faster and faster and faster? Keep an eye on your pace. Is it happening at 14 miles only? Well, great. The half marathon's not that long. So these are things that go through my mind. What's the pace? At what distance? When is it happening? What kind of surface are you running on? Are you running on an angle? Maybe your body just doesn't like that angle, which is fine, because in the parks, not that much of an angle. On the roadways, maybe a little bit of an angle. We talked about the foam rolling, maybe foam rolling more, and then heat. Get some blood flow to that area. Go get a massage and see how that helps. The IT band gets really, really sensitive, and getting a massage helps work out that sensitivity. The biggest things are, what are you doing to manage the pain right now? And focusing on noticing at what point or at what paces these things happened. Because if it's at a specific pace, see if you can slow down depending on what your pace is. Is it happening at a certain distance? Pay attention to what was happening leading up to that certain distance. Maybe you need to take a little break leading up to that distance. Let's say, again, maybe it's 8 miles. Well, maybe you need to take a little break at 6 miles, get your bearings about you, do a couple of squats, bring some blood flow to the area, and then continue on. That was pretty long-winded. I hope it was helpful. Let me know what other questions you have. Send me a DM, runDisney DPT on Instagram. For the runners that want to finish their next Run Disney race stronger and faster, so you stop getting injured, you beat the balloon ladies, and you cross the finish line, I invite you to check out my newest program, Stronger, Faster, Finisher. Get the workouts you need to build speed, stamina, and strength. If that sounds like something you're looking for your next race, visit the link in the show notes to learn more. As always, thanks so much for listening. That's all for now. Talk to you soon.